I stood at the edge of the cliff, heart racing, as the wind howled around me, whipping through my tentacle, like tendrils. The sky was a riot of colors, glistening purples and burning oranges mixing with the shadows of encroaching storms. No matter how many times I beheld the fractal clouds over the shimmering plains, I was reminded that beauty and danger often danced an intertwining waltz. Today was no different. Eshka, we can't wait much longer. Keth's voice, sharp like crystal, wind, cut through the dizzying colors. His mottled, dark, green exterior flashed with urgency, an involuntary display of emotion we were taught to temper but could never quite extinguish. I could sense his frustration, aggravation radiating from him in waves. He darted closer, his bioluminescent markings dimming in a clear sign of discomfort. "I know what I promised," I replied, my own bioluminescent patterns barely flickering against the darkling sky. "But there's something about this place that pulls me in." I resisted the urge to sway gently in the winds, a primal response to anxiety. Were we about to unearth a truth capable of reinstating the very essence of what we once lost, or rather what I had lost? My mind flashed to the visions. 100 memories swirling within my thoughts, scattered remnants of when we were still dreamers, when we could touch our aspirations as if they were as solid as the ground beneath my webbed feet. There were days when I missed being reminded of the great legacy of our people, the once dreamers of Xanthir. We had fostered creativity and unfathomable inventiveness. But now, surrounded by bleakness and uncertainty, it felt as if our collective imagination had been hollowed out, consumed by the wicked tide of reality. Are we really risking our lives to chase a fable? Keth snapped, crossing his eyes with irritation. I knew it was more than just the cliff that threatened us. We were being hunted. It had been weeks since the humans arrived. Their ships, gleaming like icicles, had settled over the horizon. They searched for our kind, and what they needed was unclear, but the stakes had never felt higher. We shouldn't be here. As much as I shared his fears, the impulse to dive deeper into the unknown coursed through me like a spark in the ether. "We have to know what they're after," I insisted. "We have to ask if someone still remembers us." Keth looked like he was about to retort when the very ground beneath us rumbled ominously, casting our argument aside. The cliff shook. Pebbles fell into the abysses below, rising clouds of dust swirling around us like frantic ghosts. I grabbed onto the nearest fissure, my spines tensing up against the sudden tremor. Whatever was triggering this disturbance was more than just an ordinary quake. The air itself crackled with energy, as if the world was holding its breath. Then came an explosion of light, brighter than the sky around us. "Eshka," Keth shouted, turning his gaze skyward. I followed his gaze, heart stuttering to a halt. Hovering over the shimmering plains was a structure massive, ivory, and impossibly beautiful. The contours were both sharp and fluid, as if carved by powerful forces, but undeniably tangible. My eyes widened with wonder and a deep-seated fear. "What is that?" Before Keth could respond, the sky erupted in an iridescent shimmer, illuminating the cliffs and infusing my core with a strange sense of longing and dread. It pulsed, resonating deep down, igniting memories of possibilities long abandoned. The onslaught of visions and sound clashed within me, faint laughter, echoing dreams, the warmth of connection. "We need to go, Eshka." Keth's voice recalled me to my senses, grounding me as if he sensed the thoughts spiraling beyond my control. This could be a trap. But I was already moving, my feet moving with instinct rather than reason. In that moment, I made a choice for my people and my fractured hopes. I'm not leaving without discovering the truth. My choice reverberated through me, filling the void of uncertainty with reckless, thrilling resolve. As we sprinted toward the distance, the ground continued to tremble beneath us, resonating with the resonance of a singular word dancing in the air. Dream. Keth fell into step beside me, still protesting, but I could see the spark of hope flicker behind his emerald eyes. Together, as we neared the titanic construct, I could feel the whispers of history beckoning. Here lay the remnants of all the dreams that had fueled our existence and our imminent fate. a doorway to what the humans sought and what we must regain. Would we find what was lost, or had we carved our path into destruction? I turned to Keth, determined to protect him, but in my heart, I feared the price we would ultimately pay. And there, in the crucible of fire and color, the battle began, not simply for our survival, but for the resurgence of a dream long extinguished. As we inched forward, breathless with anticipation, the structure loomed like a sentinel among the embers of twilight. It held an inexplicable allure, a siren call that pulled at my very essence as if I had been waiting my entire life to find it. The mantle-like exterior shimmered with iridescent hues, reflecting the chaos of the world around it. It felt alive, the surface throbbing subtly, radiating energy that scintillated and murmured soft, ancient secrets. "Do you feel that?" I murmured. Keth remained tense, his reflexes tight as a drawn bowstring. But even he couldn't deny the unsettling beauty of the construct. It's unsettling, he admitted, his bioluminescence flickering in concert with the pulsations of the structure. "We don't know what it is or who made it. Eshka, we're not equipped for this. We have to try," I insisted, shooting forward as the ground rumbled once more. "If the humans want it, we must know why. The answers could be inside." His hesitation was palpable, but my fervor propelled me forward. The air crackled with energy as we approached. The structure seemed to sketch an ethereal doorway in the very fabric of reality, a glimmering archway, its surface shifting fluidly like liquid glass. I could feel the reverberations of long-forgotten dreams flow through it, and for the first time since the emergence of the humans, the flicker of hope ignited within me. As we crossed the threshold, the ambience transformed. Gone were the wild colors of the outside world. We were plunged into a serene twilight realm where every surface gleamed as if kissed by the stars. Keth's glow illuminated pockets of swirling energy, revealing other forms, shadows surfacing, that danced with uncertain structure. My pulse quickened with anticipation. "What is this place?" A whisper escaped my lips, reverberating against the enchanted surroundings. "It feels like home," Keth murmured softly, breaking through his reservations as we ventured deeper. In the core of the structure, metallic waltzes of light-traced contours that often obscured the impossible intricate design of the place. Everything felt imbued with emotion, as though the very walls yearned for connection. A truth we had lost amidst the human encroachment. Amid the luminescent mists, we stumbled upon a gathering of unfamiliar beings, ethereal silhouettes, whose forms wove in and out of existence, shimmering like memories at the edge of recollection. They moved gracefully, an intangible rhythm shaping their dance, threading together stories woven from the fabric of time. "They're like us, but different," Keth commented with trepidation, scanning the ethereal figures. "Are they memories?" "Perhaps," I replied, transfixed as they glided past, unbothered, exploring the structure's liquid walls. One figure, radiating the warmth of faded sunlight, seemed to turn toward me, eyes shimmering with the telltale spark of recognition, or was it understanding? A longing flickered in my heart, a pull towards something ancient and familiar. Before further speculation could take root, a sound erupted from deeper within, a percussive thump resonating against the very pulse of the structure. Keth and I shared an alarmed glance. The warmth dissolved as a chilling distress painted across his emerald exterior. "We need to explore deeper," I commanded, firm yet anxious. "Something is waiting for us, something we must uncover." In navigating further into the pulsating core, the walls began to hum, growing denser as if alive with resonance. The shapes blurred, shrouded in technicolor mists that enveloped us in kaleidoscopic familiarity until we burst into the heart of the structure. There, at the center, lay a vast chamber that spiraled into infinity, its center glimmering with a visibility that beckoned us in. It was a nexus, thrumming an undeniable sense of urgency. My heart raced, feeling as though something very powerful was awakening, reaching out for understanding, for connection. Then we saw them, a cluster of glowing orbs, each seemingly a repository of memories, drifted through the air. Their surfaces flickered with scenes, dreams captured mid-existence, the warm laughter of children, the glow of shared intimacy, flashes of resilience against storms of chaos. Each orb throbbed in rhythm with my pulse, a syncopation of forgotten stories yearning to be reborn. As I stepped closer, a haunting melody reverberated through the chamber, embedding itself within my core. Keth, look. I reached out, trembling as I grasped one of the nearby orbs. Its warmth radiated through my fingers. Visions exploded in my mind, a world of brilliance, a society once thriving, undeterred by the dark shadow creeping in from beyond the stars. Maybe this is the answer, I breathed, entranced, pulling Keth closer. Maybe we can remember who we were before everything changed. Suddenly, the serene atmosphere shattered as a trembling groan echoed around us. A voice woven from myriad threads. You seek what you have forgotten, an ancient voice intoned, resonating from the chamber's core. Yet your paths dance dangerously close to the edge of renewal and ruin. Keth flinched, instinctively stepping back. What does that mean? He looked to me for reassurance that I could not provide. There was an undeniable threat lacing through the pulsating energy. A desperation seeks answers, the voice continued, but in this quest lies a dissonance both profound and perilous. Choose wisely what you revive. Before I could respond, the chamber erupted in brilliant energy, the orbs spinning wildly around us, revealing fragments of all that had been lost. A connection to my roots entwined in new horrors of displacement and the encroaching human presence beyond. Alarm flooded through me, raw and terrifying. Had my reckless pursuit led us into an endless spiral of doom instead of rebirth? Keth, I shouted, grasping tighter onto the orb, desperate to ground myself amid the chaos. Keth's radiance flickered, exposing turmoil beneath his surface as horror washed over him. We need to leave, this is endangering everything. But my tendrils clutched the orb as if it were a lifeline amidst turmoil, and something inside me resisted. No, we need to understand this. If there lies a chance for salvation, just as the dance escalated to a fever pitch, the structure shuddered, and suddenly they emerged figures too familiar yet horrifying. The humans, their silhouettes outlined against the light of the orbs, spilled into the chamber, eyes determined, measuring the treasures before them with a longing that shattered any notion of solidarity. Get away from those, a voice commanded, a human officer, reminiscent of the very sounds that had rooted our existence in fear. Keth, we can't let them take this, I shouted, my resolve wavering on the precipice of fear. Keth's gaze darted between me and the encroaching danger. Ashka, this is madness. They'll destroy everything. In that moment of uncertainty, my heart raced, desperately contemplating the choice before me. My grip tightened on the orb, vision still swirling, illuminating the dire truths I had always known. And with a resolve that shook the chamber's very foundation, I spoke aloud, my voice trembling with determination. If we want to revive what we've lost, we have to fight for it, together. The swirling energy flickered around us, and in that moment, I forged a bond anew, not just with the echoes of my past, but with Keth, my ally and my chosen companion. For whatever truth awaited us, we would face it side by side. As chaos erupted in swirling colors, I finally grasped the true nature of our conflict. It wasn't simply about retrieving dreams, but understanding what made us alive in every sense of the word. Complex, flawed, yet immortal. With cohesion amidst uncertainty, we prepared to face whatever fate awaited, whether it led us toward unity or unraveling. I released the orb, letting it soar into the air as Keth and I stood poised for the storm of identity and meaning yet to be uncovered. The air thickened with tension as the chamber erupted into chaos. Humans surged forward, their faces pale under the ethereal glow of the orbs. Keth's stance wavered, torn between the weight of fear and the embers of hope that ignited within me. A part of my instinct screamed to flee. Another part urged me to hold on, to embrace the flicker of possibilities and face the thunderstorm head on. Keth, move, I shouted, trying to break through his paralysis as I stepped back instinctively, preparing to shield us. We can't let them take that knowledge. My heart hammered against my ribs as a group of humans took aim with strange devices, their purpose unspoken yet abundantly clear. They wanted what was ours, and they would do anything to seize it. Together, I urged him, my eyes locking with his. In that brief moment, the chaos swirled around us, yet it faded at the edges, sharpening the bond between us. Keth took a breath, stealing courage from my conviction. "Right behind you," he replied, his voice steadying like the hum of the structure's walls. I didn't know what to expect, but recognition sparked unearthed memories. With a resounding pulse, I grasped the essence of the orb and reached into its depths, exporting a radiant wave of energy, inviting the swirling memories contained within to unravel. "If we're going to fight, we'll do it with our truth," I called, releasing the orb's energy into the spiraling chamber. A surge of iridescent light erupted from my fingertips, swirling and coiling like an aurora, encasing us in a protective veil, shimmering with the dreams of the once dreamers. I could feel Keth drawing on the energy, his markings glowing fervently as he stepped forward beside me. The invading humans were momentarily bewildered, taken aback by the unforeseen luminescent defense. "This isn't what we came for," one of them exclaimed, scanning the shimmering barrier with desperate eyes. "We can't let them win." The words echoed as if some hidden tension revealed itself, a fleeting glimpse of uncertainty cloaked beneath their objective. "Do you even understand what you're taking?" I shouted, adrenaline fueling my fight. "These orbs contain the essence of life. They're not merely weapons for conquest, they are our history, our veneration. Your greed is stealing the dreams and identities of every living being." Their expressions faltered, and for a brief second, I perceived a flicker of doubt dancing behind their human facades. But hesitation was a mirage. The leader of the group soon regained his composure. "You're outnumbered," he barked, eyes narrowing into menacing slits. "Surrender them, and perhaps we'll discuss your fate." Keth's eyes darted among the humans, confusion flickering in the light. What he saw in my urgency must have ignited something inside him too, an awakening that instilled courage where none seemed possible. "We're not just going to roll over," he said defiantly. "You may have power now, but this isn't over. Back up," the officer commanded, raising his weapon menacingly. "You will not challenge authority here." Yet I pressed forward, drawing the shimmering veil closer, feeling the memories whirl around us. A tapestry woven through time. "We are our memories," I declared, unyielding. "Without them, what do you become?" The words hung in the air as the light intensified, the walls around us pulsing in tandem with the hosted visions. In the face of opposition, the energy crackled, nurturing the gathering aura of resilience. The humans hesitated again, uncertainty clawing at their resolve as the memories surged around us, swirling like a tempest. And then, as I extended my hand once more, I felt the connection. The vibrant thrum between Keth and me, a tether woven into the fabric of purpose. A glimmer of understanding flickered in the human's eyes, whispering a shadow of recognition buried beneath layers of greed. "What if," one of them began, voice wavering, "what if we could share this?" "What?" I asked, caught off guard. The leader's gaze darkened as though the shadows of doubt had heightened his defensiveness. "What if we could harness this knowledge?" He took a step forward, reaching toward the essence of who we were. "Power over memories has its merits. Knowledge is the new form of dominion, perhaps." A flicker of silence enveloped us. I sensed the unsteady breath of uncertainty fluctuations, like a pulse battling against the current of ambition. "Don't. They'll destroy it," Keth urged desperately. The moment hummed with vulnerability, and I felt the barrier trembling amidst tempestuous thoughts. "We will not let you take our essence or subjugate our truths," I declared, knowing it would only encourage the very thing I sought to disarm. "You don't understand. This knowledge is sacred. You can't weaponize it without consequence." "And what consequence is that?" The officer challenged, defiance wavering still, but his aggression lurked closely. The tension in the air thickened, the specter of ruin held perilously close. You believe in this power, yet there are those who'd rather obliterate it entirely, I affirmed, swallowing my trepidation as my voice steadied. If you dismantle our memories, what you'll awaken will be something monstrous. The embodiment of desperation lost, those who forgot who we were. The orb pulses surged, illuminating the human's features with the stories I had glimpsed, and time blurred as the very essence of who they were, and what they desired became intertwined with our own. A distant tremor rumbled, echoing like an impending storm, deeper than the surface conflict we faced. The ground vibrated as the abyss beneath the chamber stirred. "What is that?" Keth asked, a flash of alarm crossing his face. "More of them are coming." I felt it, too, resonating fear as the walls shuddered and mist began to swirl ominously. "We need to decide our truths, or your ambition," I pressed, confident yet battling turmoil of choice. "Knowledge comes with responsibility. Can you bear that weight?" The leader faltered. Indecision flickered through the ranks. As I turned to Keth, the blossoming tension around us paused as the fabric of choice spiraled toward an unknown precipice. "We have to make it our truth," I urged him. Now. Together, we stood firm, letting the vibrant energies arc between us, echoing with the voices of the past calling for resilience amid the darkness. With every heartbeat, the weight of the choice settled. We either work beside us or be crushed by the consequences of your actions. I bellowed to the humans, a conviction strengthening my voice. Our histories deserve to thrive, not die. As the mist circled, a soft luminescence enveloped the humans. They exchanged glances, measuring the truth against the looming uncertainty. Just as the officer appeared on the verge of responding, a cataclysm of light erupted from the depths of the chamber, the disturbance converging upon us like a consuming tide. Out, the officer screamed, pulling his compatriots toward the exit as the threshold warped. The barrier between harmony and chaos teetered precariously. "We have to leave, now," Keth shouted, our collective energies pulling tighter as I felt the ground quake with fierce urgency. "Join us," I pleaded, yearning for what could be. A shared bond against the ravaging force that sought to unravel us, with one final look exchanged among us all. Each heart weighed in the balance, their expressions flickered with revelation. Seizing the moment, the humans turned away from their pursuit, driven by something deeper. A flicker of honor, an abandoned truth resurrecting past ideals. It resonated within the chamber as flickers of hope ignited amidst the chaos, syncing with our own drive toward a shared legacy. "We fight together," I shouted as the walls shook, and suddenly we were surrounded by light, the chamber collapsing, the remnants of dreams swirling together into the recovering void. The crystalline shield of dreams and memories ignited, enveloping us all as earthquake ripples sent the floor tilting, pulling us toward the center and collapsing time and space into the very core of our existence. The chamber imploded, but we remained. The connection to our legacy never severed. In that moment, something within us bloomed anew, an undeniable bond awakening toward uncharted horizons, uniting the once fractured dreams of two peoples. The collective consciousness surged from the depths, not to divide, but to weave anew. Together, we traversed the tapestry of realities. We emerged, the walls of the chamber fading into stardust and warmth, tethered by something infinitely promising. The essence of the once dreamers swayed around us, echoes of resilience painting the sky. The humans and I, Keth standing staunchly by my side, forged a new frontier, no longer enemies but witnesses to a shared destiny. As dawn broke over the horizon, the sky a canvas of potential, the remnants of our choices enveloped us in a glow of hope. Whatever lay ahead, discovery, resurrection, engagement with our own truths, would no longer be solitary. We had woven bonds stronger than fear, fragile yet bold enough to withstand whatever tempest may come next. Stars whirled above Promethean aspirations, whispering secrets of dreams yet to unfold. We emerged from the collapsing chamber, hand in hand, Keth and I tethered to a fragile network of trust woven through magic and newfound allegiance. The chaos of collapsing dreams rippled around us, The air was thick with the scent of possibility and the residue of lost aspirations. As we stepped into the light, the horizon shimmered, an iridescent wave rolling over the shimmering plains that had long lain in shadow. Where do we go from here? Keth's voice broke through the echoes of our recent battle, uncertainty cloaking his features like a thin veil. As we would soon learn, clarity is not always born of victory. Forward, I replied, glancing toward the distant horizon now tinged with hues of orange and purple. We've created something new. The humans chose to step back, but this isn't an end, merely a beginning. The remnants of the chamber faded into the background like forgotten dreams, leaving behind an echo of lament punctuating our urgency. But what was this new chapter to hold? I was all too aware that we were still being hunted, our enemies lurking beyond the periphery, spurred to reclaim what they had once sought. Together, we forged ahead, leaving the devastation of the chamber behind. The air crackled with a fresh resonance and unfolding of countless possibilities, teeming with life. Keth followed closely, his eyes searching for answers and reassurance. "Do you really think the humans will stay away?" he asked, concern etched into the lines of his verdant skin. I felt the tug of apprehension in my own heart. "I don't know," I confessed, "but they've seen our truth now. If they tread our path of ambition and honor, perhaps they'll choose to ally with us, not against us." With each step, droplets of sunlight sprinkled the ground like lucky stars, rays of hope intertwined with artifice, shimmering amidst the dust left in our wake. What lay before us was bound to our understanding, as if woven into the very fabric of the shimmering plains. A landscape of vibrant colors surged with life, the ground pulsated like a heartbeat, resonating with the dreams we had just resurrected. Just then, an unexpected presence broke the horizon. A band of humans approached from the east, their ships shimmering under the golden sky. My heart dropped as that familiar sensation of dread surged anew. Had they come to reclaim what had been lost? Yet, as they drew closer, I caught the glimmer of unity woven in their postures, a decided shift from the confident beings we had only just encountered. They halted at a safe distance, hands raised, and I breathed cautiously. "Eshka," a familiar voice called out. It was the officer, looking weary but resolute. "We've come not to fight, but to talk." Keth stood stiff beside me, a silent sentinel ready to defend, but what hope lingered beneath our shared trepidation? "What do you want?" I asked, carefully calibrating my tone, balancing wariness with the chance of reconciliation. "You've shown us a vision we cannot ignore," he replied, his voice carrying an authority tempered by the realization of our common struggle. What we sought to control was never meant to be weapons. "We have lost our way, our dreams, our morality, and what we have witnessed within that chamber has ignited hope long extinguished." Hope flared in my chest. "Then why are you here? What can you offer? To extend our hands, for a new covenant, if you will. A chance to protect the memories we both hold dear. We realize now that power lies not in dominance, but in collaboration. A union of knowledge that could rewrite our narrative." Keth stepped forward, surprising me with his boldness. "You expect us to trust you after everything?" "I don't expect trust," the officer admitted, vulnerability woven into his tone. "Only an opportunity to show you we stand together, with you." A tense silence hung heavy between us, a fragile thread weaving the fabric of hope and fear. "If we are to face the unknown, we must do so united," I said, feeling the weight of the decision that lay before us. "But trust is not freely given. It is earned through shared experience and responsibility." The officer nodded, and for a fleeting moment, I felt a surge of possibility coursing through the air like a gentle current, a renewed spirit threading through our initial despair. "Then let that be the foundation on which we build our future," he offered. "We have resources, knowledge that could aid your people, intertwining all our strengths in this pursuit." Keth exchanged glances with me, the myriad emotions expressed crossing the threshold between hope and caution. "What would that unity look like?" he finally asked, tentative yet yearning. "No one should be defined only by their kind," the officer responded, his voice steadying within the swirling currents of uncertainty. A new society forged from the ashes of division, an alliance built on shared memories, resilience, and the right to dream without threat, but it'll demand sacrifices. A discourse that may fracture the very structures we now know. My heart raced at the prospect. A connection over conquest. I mused aloud. The willingness to stand alongside each other, crafting a narrative anew. Precisely, he affirmed, gauging our reactions. But if we choose this path, we're bound to each other's fates. The threats beyond these borders will not hesitate to reclaim power. They will sense dissension once woven. The reality of our external enemies loomed closer than I had anticipated. Their darkness echoed in the distance like a forgotten storm. I turned towards the horizon, brimming with potential yet shrouded in shadows. Then, we must strengthen our resolve now, I declared, more to myself than to anyone else. We must stand ready, intertwining our fates and norms. No longer adversaries but allies harboring a shared future. Keth reached for my hand, squeezing it with a conviction that only added to my determination. If we're to take this step, we need to be prepared for what lies ahead, he said, his eyes burning bright. And we will, I affirmed, feeling Keth's warmth against my skin. Together, we'll face whatever absolute reality comes to test us. We're no longer shackled by our separations, but united under the legacy of every truth resurrected. It was a tumultuous leap into the unknown, one that would redefine our essence, but a thrill swept through me as we ventured into the possibilities, limitless an alliance formed beneath the shimmering light of the stars. With a newfound connection bonding us, we lifted our heads high, gazing defiantly toward the horizon that lay ahead. We would unearth truths. As one together, we would confront our pasts and strive for a future where dreams would not fade into shadows, but blaze into the cosmos, unrestrained and unified. The journey would not be without sacrifice. There were still myriad unknowns, dark forces lurking in the recesses, but what we sought was worth every effort. It was a commitment to keep weaving the tapestry of our lives, an infinite interlacing of families forged from trials and triumphs. And beyond the horizon reigned a promise, a debut where dreams flourished not just for one but for all. In that moment, surrounded by rekindled hope, we chose to step forward together as we turned to join our newfound allies. The humans forging a fresh union with us, a new world awaited. The path would be daunting, yet every heartbeat resonated with renewed purpose, echoing the legacy of the once dreamers who had shaped our existence long before us. In unity, we would thrive, weaving a symphony of dreams that resonated tenfold deep into the cosmos. In the days that followed our pact, a fragile thread of unity between the once dreamers and the humans, I marveled at how necessity had sculpted our fates into a new tapestry woven from the shared essence of our societies. Each sunrise illuminated a world imbued with possibility, the shimmering plains transforming slowly amidst the dust of our histories. Beneath the vibrant hues of the waking dawn, Keth and I explored our surroundings, intermingling with the remnants of stories once lost. New faces, humans and dreamers alike, began to merge. Their differences painted in shades of hope, resilience, and tentative trust. There were challenges ahead, yet the air buzzed with the promise of collaboration and an awakening synergy between our two peoples. The heart of our efforts lay in the heart of the shimmering plains, where remnants of the ancient chamber still pulsed with energy, a precious repository of the memories we sought to nurture. Together, we forged a space where creativity would flourish, where dialogues could redefine the collective dream of our intertwined futures. Every color and whisper of the landscape took on renewed meaning. Each twinkle of light bore witness to the delicate symphony of our identities merging into a single, vibrant celebration of life. As the assembly formed around the chamber, community became the foremost focus. Those who once lingered on the outskirts of one another, human and dreamer alike, dared to convene, sharing not only knowledge but aspirations. Workshops sprang to life, pulsating with creativity. Memories poured from the orbs we had liberated, rekindling connections long left dormant. It was in these gatherings that I felt the weight of our mission blossom. We were not just sharing tactics or wisdom, but nurturing a landscape of dreams that could defy the shadows we had carried for so long. Stories connected us, fetching from my ancestors and their unyielding fearlessness, while the humans shared their past struggles, revealing our shared fragility beneath the veneer of strength. We will craft this chamber into a sanctuary, I told the gathering, my heart racing as I spoke. A talisman of our unity, where every heartbeat resonates harmoniously with echoes of our histories. Keth stood beside me, his aura shimmering with burgeoning hope. Together, we lay the groundwork for what we can accomplish, he declared, fervently capturing the attention of our assembled kin. Let us create not just defenses, but a foundation of trust, a legacy that future generations will inherit. As we united in fervent endeavor, we began the arduous task of transforming the chamber into an iridescent hub of ingenuity. Each brilliant idea sparked new branches of creativity, converging harmoniously like rivers flowing into an ocean of potential. But it became clear, while dreams ignited on the horizon, shadows still threatened to edge closer. We could feel them stirring just out of reach. Whispers of discontent echoed from the human factions we'd once known, lurking among shadows, fragile remnants of power that threatened to unravel our progress. Eshka, Keth murmured, pulling me aside one evening as the sun dipped low, painting the sky with hues of amber and gold. I'm sensing unrest among the humans. There are factions that would love to reclaim their holdings and see our alliance crumble. Distrust can fall like a shroud. We must open dialogue even more. Embrace their differences as part of our foundation, I replied, anxiety twisting in my chest. The fate of our unity rests upon transparency and our willingness to delve into their fears. We cannot hide from them. As the days turned into weeks, we worked tirelessly to bridge the gaps between our cultures. We invited representatives from the humans, seeking their insights, their hesitations, while encouraging participation in our discussions. In one pivotal dialogue, we sat around a large, luminescent table that glimmered with reflections of our histories. The marks of our ancestors united before us. I see a lot of you, one of the human leaders, a stern woman with bright blue eyes, spoke up. Your memories resonate with a song I've long forgotten. But forged alliances never truly relinquish power willingly. How do I know your dreams don't eclipse our pasts? I ask you, Keth replied, his voice unwavering. How do we reclaim what has been lost without the ashes of the past consuming us? Our stories do not diminish yours, they amplify them. Together, we can forge a new legacy capable of sustaining us all. The discussions carried on into the night, resonating with the stars above, fitful bursts of hope shimmering like firelight beneath our communal bond. Individuals from both sides shared apprehensions. However, I could feel the resistance beginning to soften, shifting beneath the expansive shelter of our shared aspirations. Yet the specter of danger remained at large. We sensed movements lurking at the edges, hidden deep in the recesses bordering the shimmering plains, as if the fabric of our peace was woven too tightly, threatening rupture at any moment. Distrust erupted sporadically, flaring tensions between our groups. One night, under the canopy of stars, a delegation of humans arrived unannounced at our encampment, their intentions veiled, yet palpably strained. I stood vigilant beside Keth, our bond fortified through countless dreams shared. What do you want? I asked cautiously, glancing between the humans gathered with anxiety threading my heart. We want to negotiate. The leader, a shadowy figure of robust form, stepped forward. Our people won't tolerate losing power for long. They dream of resurgence. Keth's skin rippled with apprehension beside me. Understanding is our only path forward. You see our combined history as a fault line. What would you gain from dividing us? A simmer of panic swirled in the air, and was seasoned with a dread culminated from the shadows surrounding us. Perhaps something more primal, the leader retorted coldly. something that calls for supremacy, a return of what we had driven underfoot. Keth's determination ignited in tandem with my own, and that path will only lead to greater strife. Understand, within the depths of your desires lies the seeds of discord. We will never achieve the dreams we long for through stifling aspiration. The atmosphere crackled as the air grew taut with conflict brewing beneath our shared narratives. You all need to decide what is truly worth fighting for, I warned, drawing courage from our shared vigilance. We have resurrected what we once lost. Without honoring our unity now, the shadows will devour the flames of our achievements. Fearful whispers spilled through the assembly, rippling down through ranks of humans. This doesn't have to be the end, Keth called out, his skin flashing with vibrant patterns echoing the urgency in his voice. Let's turn our fears into bridges instead of walls. For a moment, silence enveloped the chamber, as if the very air understood what hung in the balance. The chance to rewrite our collective history. The leader remained indecisive, grappling with the weight of his choice within the sanctuary of our honesty, a pact of necessity entangled around us. As days passed, and with them, the silent pact deepened, Keth and I devoted our efforts not just to rebuilding trust, but generating clarity in our dialogue. It would take time, it would take work, but ultimately we believed in our vision of a shared existence, rooted firmly in the dreams we all carried. But with every collective endeavor echoed the growing specter that lay still among us, whispers from the disenchanted factions growing louder. The siren call of power threatening to destabilize our fragile foundation. As I gazed into the distant horizon, I wondered how far our dreams could stretch, a tapestry woven through endless possibility, while shadows lurked, yearning to reclaim what was lost. In those moments, a juxtaposition unfolded. The true strength of dreams rekindled amid the delicate balance of chaos and order. We forged ahead, hands intertwined, each heartbeat thrumming with undying hope, anchored within the alchemy of our converging destinies, aware that the shadows may rise as darkness returns, yet we would stand united, determined to weave a new legacy through laughter, trials, and shared dreams. Together, we would face whatever storm awaited us. Whatever trepidation and peril approached, we carried visions of a harmonized world, colors dancing upon the breeze echoing with promise, and yearning to unravel the very fabric of possibility into something extraordinary. In a universe threaded with boundless opportunities, hope stands resilient against despair, and together we would reclaim the light. The luminous threads of our stories intertwined, surging toward an endless dawn. The shimmering plains would ignite with visions anew, ever brightening the narrative of our intertwined existence. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the shimmering plains. The alliance between the once dreamers and the humans had transformed the landscape, yet the threat loomed ever closer. Every day that passed without confrontation felt precarious, a teetering balance between hope and uncertainty. I stood on the edge of the great chamber, surveying the vibrant energy that pulsed through our connected encampment, the hearts of both our peoples beating as one. The fears that had once threatened to divide us lingered like a specter, rippling beneath the surface of our newfound unity. Ashka, Keth's voice sliced through the reverie, urgency lacing his tone. Come quick, you need to see this. He beckoned me toward the delicate glass, like structure, the portal we had constructed over the ancient chamber where the orbs of memory shimmered. As I approached, I could see a group of humans gathered around a holographic display, their faces a mixture of concern and determination. Keth's dark, green eyes glimmered with a mixture of fear and resolve as he gestured for me to join him. The air was electric with tension as I stepped into the circle, my heart racing. The hologram flickered to life before me, casting a soft blue glow that illuminated the worried expressions around us. This was captured 2 nights ago, Keth explained, pointing toward the pulsing image. The hologram displayed a group of human dissenters, those who had resisted the alliance gathering in a shadow-draped courtyard. They were angry, their voices rising in fervor. "They're plotting something, Eshka," Keth continued, his voice low. "They want to attack us. They believe that by striking first, they'll regain power." I felt the weight of that reality settle like lead in my stomach. "We can't let this go unanswered." A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembly. Fear mingled with determination. A woman from the human contingent stepped forward, her brow knitted in worry. "We need to devise a strategy," she proposed, strength evident in her posture. "If they strike, our unity will be put to the test immediately." We gathered around the holographic display, samples of our memories scattered like embers beneath our shared hopes. Discussions sparked around me, ideas exchanged with fervor, urgency uniting our spirits. We were still forging our collective identity, but now we stood on the brink of confrontation. As plans took shape, Keth and I sidled away from the huddled masses, needing a moment to collect our thoughts. "What do we do if they attack?" Keth questioned, anxiety lacing his voice. "We prepare," I replied, the conviction rattling with deeper purpose as my chest tightened. "In unity, we forge our strength and make it known. We'll show them we're not just the dreams, they're echoes of our legacy, our existence." "That sounds easier said than done," Keth hesitated. His bioluminescent patterns flickered uncertainly. "But what if not all of the humans feel that way? What if some still want to destroy? Then we must protect ourselves while showing them a different path," I replied, trying to imbue reassurance into my words. "But we can't let our fears guide us. We can only act with conviction for those who dare to believe in unity." Together, we joined the others, rallying around shared ideals, integrating defenses, bolstering our new social fabric. By incorporating generational wisdom into our shared strategies, days morphed into an endless cycle of preparation. We crafted barriers infused with the shimmering aura of the orbs, energies blending to resonate through our defenses. A protective shield swirling with the hopes of both our peoples. At the heart of our preparations, a sense of camaraderie blossomed, reinforcing the delicate threads binding us. In the evenings, we gathered around the great fire that flickered with light, stories shared between us, laughter intertwining as the weight of our fears slowly transformed into something extraordinary. But life in cautious anticipation was short-lived. One evening, firelight danced across our faces, casting shifting silhouettes as we shared tales of old. Suddenly, an ear-piercing alarm shattered the air, a harrowing wail that reverberated through the very core of our gathering. "Everyone, to your stations," Keth roared, his presence immediately commanding attention. "We have to mobilize." The camaraderie transformed into urgent action as we hurried to our designated posts, the adrenaline surging through our veins. I stood alongside Keth at the forefront, watching the horizon as dark figures emerged, shadows twisting among the encroaching darkness. Their weapons glinted in the fading light, a cruel reminder that they were ready to pounce at the first sign of weakness. "And now is the moment we've prepared for," Keth said, his resolve igniting. "We face them not in fear, but as we truly are, an alliance united." The humans and dreamers stood shoulder to shoulder, pulsating with the collective energy of the orbs, their iridescence resonating with the warriors that had come before us. I could feel the throbbing pulse of the universe around us, the legacy of resilience igniting within each of us. As the dissenters marched forward toward our encampment, a malady of anger and ambition swirling in their midst, I realized it wasn't just our past they sought to reclaim. It was the fear of the unknown, the anxiety of losing their familiar world in an unforeseen shift. "Keth, remember our shared visions. We aren't merely defending. We're revealing a new way of existence," I reminded him, my voice steady as I reached for his hand, intertwining our fates. "With every heartbeat, we counter their hatred with love." "Yes," he replied, eyes glowing fiercely. "This is our chance to show them the strength of unity. Our difference is not our weakness, but our strength." Moments ticked by like a drumbeat as they approached, inching closer, the air thick with uncertainty. "Ready the defenses," I bellowed, rallying our numbers for the battle that lay ahead. As the humans and dreamers melded into formation, I closed my eyes for a moment, drawing strength from the orbs, entwined with our memories. I would see the power they carried, the dreams that hung precariously over the precipice of our existence, and I would not let them fall, not when there was so much at stake. Here they come, someone shouted as the shadows descended. The eeriness of tension burst as the first skirmishes erupted. Keth and I surrounded the barrier, holding tight as we pushed back against the tension that crackled through the air. The dissenters charged, fueled by the fires of desperation and old wounds. But beneath that, I sensed an insatiable need for connection. They were threatening to consume everything we believed in unless we fought back. With every clash, our spirits forged bonds, refusing to break beneath the weight of others' fears. Time stretched as the world blurred around us, a wild dance of chaos and conviction, the gleaming edges of our defenses shimmering in the twilight. Push them back, Keth cried, adrenaline propelling him forward. The air was electric with energy as he slashed toward the encroaching figures. Stray bursts of color ignited the darkness as we summoned the power of our history together. Our strengths forged a luminous path toward the dawn. As the battle raged, I glimpsed the faces of the dissenters' confusion, threading through fear, uncertainty wavering beneath stubborn ambition. In that moment I realized that they too were searching for belonging just as we were. "Stop!" I shouted, my voice breaking through the chaos. "We can do this differently. We don't need to destroy each other." Keth fought valiantly at my side, pushing through the onslaught of bodies swarming around us. "Eshka, it's not just about them," he called as he repelled another charge. "We also have to protect what we've built." "Yeah, I know, but they're all just living echoes of fear." I insisted, catching their fleeting expressions. Their anger bled into hesitation, exposing the vulnerability within the furor of battle. "We must help them see that better futures stem from connection, not destruction." As the shield around us pulsed with renewed energy, I felt the memories swirling in the orbs revive my resolve. "Please," I shouted again into the tumult, my words laced with urgency. "We can forge a path forward together. Let go of the past that binds us in fear." If the tide of chaos slowed, the rhythm of battle staggered as the one. Animated figures began halting. Their confusion echoed in murmurings rippling through their ranks. In that moment of doubt, a glimmer of hope danced through the air. Keth and I strengthened our resolve, aligning our energies as a beacon of light guiding the vulnerable currents within us. "Join us," Keth shouted, his voice resonating with conviction. "We stand united not just for us, but for every dream that remains unfulfilled. We must transcend the pain of division and forge a new covenant of trust." The dissenters halted, the air thick with conflict but tinged by intrigue. My heart hammered in my chest as I strained to meet their eyes with unwavering honesty. I had always believed our dreams were meant to bridge divides, not widen them. The tide shifted slowly, moments transforming as uncertainty replaced aggression. The dissenters fell silent, exchanging glances that revealed a flicker of daring curiosity suspended amidst the heavy turbulence. "Enough," one voice rang out from their ranks, stepping forward with skin awash in warm, golden hues. With every ounce of authority, the figure's eyes narrowed on us, conflicted yet unwavering. "If you can prove this vision, a place beyond the shadows, then we will hear you." The murmurs grew, questions blossoming within the suspended air as they hesitated, wavering between the adrenaline of battle and the possibility of alliance. Would they choose destruction or the shared legacy of unity we had woven? "Then we will show you," I replied, my heart pounding with conviction as the weight of destiny threaded through my voice. "We will unveil the truth of our memories of all that has been lost and what we can cultivate together." As the air cleared, the brightness between us shone through the lingering dusk. This was our moment, the heartbeat of potential emerging. "Together, we shall transcend the rage of the past," Keth chimed in, waving his hands toward the luminous essence surrounding us. "Intertwined in colors beyond measure. Through unity and shared purpose, we shall stamp out the fears that seek to consume us. We can change the course." The air pulsed with uncertainty, humanity hovered on the brink, gazes darting, the specter of resolve coiling into renewed pathways of connection. One by one, the dissenters shifted, hesitating at the cusp of change, their anger simmering down as the promise of alliance flickered before them. The harmony of the moment slowly enveloped us, the chaos began to ebb, and where anger once stood, versions of hope rose in its wake. It was not the end of our struggle, nor was there a guarantee, but the path to understanding paved with every dream still glimmering beneath the surface. As the battle turned to negotiation, I dared to believe in the power of our shared essence, the bonds that had sprung forth from fear, but now rooted in solidarity. From the ashes of our past, we would cultivate a future sown with resilience, woven through dreams yet untold. Together, united against the shadows encroaching just beyond the horizon, we would not falter. The dawn awakened, an eternal promise riding the winds woven into the fabric of our spirit, guiding us forward into the light. As we stepped into the vulnerability within our unity, we didn't just fight against the fear. We fought to orchestrate a symphony of collaboration bound to resurface. The universe awaited our decision, trusting our hearts to weave the tapestry of harmony, hope dancing within the luminous brilliance of a new dawn. Together, we opted to embrace the dream of existence, a commitment to weave endless possibilities beneath the stars above. The light ahead shimmered with promise, unwavering, guiding us toward a path we had yet to define, but together, forever evolving. The air was thick with uncertainty as dawn broke over the shimmering plains, the sun casting luminous rays that danced upon the horizon. The coalition formed between the once dreamers and the humans was still fragile, the promise of unity layered generously with a delicate tension. Keth and I stood side by side, gazing out at the shimmering expanse that had become our home and battleground, an ever-shifting canvas etched with the dreams of our intertwined fates. "We've come so far," I said softly, a mixture of awe and trepidation flooding my words. The memories we had rallied to reclaim felt alive in the air, thrumming against the pulse of the earth itself. It was an unyielding reminder that we carried within us the essence of those who had dared to dream before us. "Yes," Keth replied, his eyes glinting with concern. "Yeah, but the shadows are still there, lurking just beyond our reach. We'll need to address the dissenters soon. The time for dialogue is running thin." His grip on my hand tightened, a grounded reassurance amidst the veritable storm awaiting us. A small gathering had formed around us, humans and dreamers alike, each face a tapestry of emotion, some hopeful, others engulfed in apprehension. The balance we had forged was precarious, and the potential for an uprising hung heavily in the air. "We must take proactive measures," suggested Raven, a human leader whose experience melded seamlessly with the wisdom of ages past. "If those who oppose our unity truly believe that power and dominance define our existence, we need to show them how camaraderie holds greater strength." His brow furrowed, and for a moment the room fell silent. "We'll need a tactic that displays our collective resolve," Keth interjected. "We cannot simply wait for them to make their move. Let's take the fight to them physically and metaphorically." His voice thrummed with a new energy, igniting sparks of courage among the assembly. A murmur resonated through the group, and something shifted within the hearts of those gathered. I sensed their spirit flourishing, their fears clashing against the determination of our resolve. "We can create a demonstration, show them the potential of our unity," I proposed, heart swelling with conviction. "We must gather our memories, our stories, and illuminate the core of what we seek." "What do you envision?" Raven asked, intrigued yet cautious. "An exhibition," I explained, the ideas forming like brushstrokes in my mind. "A celebration of what we stand to gain, a vibrant tapestry woven from both our fabrics, illustrating the dreams we cherish and the unity we desire. Let us create something beautiful that could pull their hearts back from the edge." Keth nodded, his features illuminated with understanding. "We can gather our history into a tangible form, and create an event that showcases the combined strengths of our cultures." With every heartbeat, we crafted the framework of our approach, a grand celebration that would beckon even the most obstinate dissenters. Over the following days, the spirit of collaboration blossomed like wild flowers in riotous color, as both dreamers and humans merged their ideas and craftsmanship into one coherent act of unity. We forged intricate displays that intertwined our histories, utilizing the pulsating energies of the memory orbs that had once threatened to divide us. I felt a resounding thrill of possibility surge through me as we tempered the fear and distrust into something intangible. Finally, the day of the exhibition arrived. The shimmering planes transformed into an iridescent expanse, glowing with artistry that depicted the intertwined destinies of our now interconnected worlds. Great ribbons of colors unfurled, merging the spectrums of our memories, sharp blues and greens melding into fiery oranges. As the festivities began, laughter echoed through the air, genuine connections blossoming as the two factions mingled amidst the rhythmic pulse of shared beliefs and aspirations. Humans and dreamers brushed shoulders, exchanging stories while threads of creativity knotted around our hearts, strengthening the warmth that surpassed mere allegiance. Amidst the jubilant atmosphere, as I took in the beauty of the moment, my thoughts drifted to the dissenters lingering on the edges of the exhibition, tightening their circles like menacing shadows. Keth, I breathed, anxiety settling within me, there watching. His eyes, usually a kaleidoscope of courage, narrowed with determination. They may come, but we need to show them the light beneath our unity. What we've crafted together can protect the dreams we hold dear. As dusk fell over the plains, the exhibit erupted into a symphonic crescendo. The orbs unleashed their shimmering energies into the air, illuminating the sky like a constellation of hope. Flashes of memories danced before us, intertwining the past with promises of the future, enveloping the evening in warmth. Yet, as reflections painted visions of shared ideals, I caught sight of the dark-clad dissenters moving toward us from the periphery, their movements a chaotic pulse against the unbreakable rhythm of connection. Tension gripped me. "Prepare yourselves," Keth called, his voice laced with command as he positioned himself protectively at my side. The jubilant melodies stuttered as the crowd drew closer, fear crackling through the atmosphere like static electricity. "Stay united," I shouted to the assembly, willing my voice to fracture the anxiety settling upon my heart. "If we hold on to our memories and ideals, they cannot eclipse the dreams we have reborn together." The dissenters advanced, their leader stepping forward, face a mask of anger and pain. "Oh, what futile spectacle is this?" he bellowed, disdain dripping from his words. "You think this charade can erase the reality that you're weaker without dominance. Your anger is rooted in despair," Keth replied, stepping toward the leader, light gleaming off his bioluminescent skin. "We hold strength through unity. Don't let your past blind you to the possibilities of our future." Around us, the exhibition continued, colors swirling as stories came to life. Our shared moments of joy, sorrow, and rebirth, painting a vivid picture in stark contrast to the darkness seeping from the dissenters. "Enough," the leader spat, raising a hand, and for a brief moment, the tension re-immersed into silence, catching a fleeting breath. "You will regret this foolishness," but amidst this darkness, I sensed something shifting. The beauty we had unveiled began to seep into the hearts of the dissenters. The light of our memories stitched together the gaps bound by dissension. Whispers of their own dreams began breaking through the crushing weight of fear and loneliness. "We are not here to take control," I declared boldly, stepping into their path, feeling the pulse of our audience behind me. "We are here to forge something greater. The courage to dream beyond the confines life has dictated." The air hung thick with anticipation, pulses of anxiety threading through every heart. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch toward infinity, something began to unfold. The leader's expression hardened for a heartbeat, then softened, revealing glimpses of vulnerability, the flickers of memories sparking the very embers of hope we sought to kindle. "Show me," he finally said, voice low but tense. "Show me what it is your unity can create." With those words, a surge energized the crowd. Keth and I exchanged knowing glances. The moment of reckoning had arrived. With every ounce of energy that ignited within us, we called upon the orbs, unleashing the memories that surged with promise and strength. In an outpouring of brilliance, the collective display erupted, a torrent of vibrant creations that hung suspended before us. twinkling with hopes that transcended all barriers. The rapture of color collided with the dusk, filling the air with beauty. The whispers of those who had come before us rising to echo. Your memories hold more than mere moments. They weave the fabric of who you are. I implored, the words spilling out like breaths of life amidst the chaos, anchoring us in the midst of the uncertain tide. Slowly, the dissenters hesitated, captivated by the luminescent panorama, swirling before them, remnants of dreams released from the souls they had stifled. The vibration of shared history interlaced with the pulses of the present, formed a living tapestry of connection, illuminating the shadows encapsulating all our fears. One by one, the dissenters drew near, captivated, their anger sagging as dreams peeled away the layers of doubt, revealing threads of longing for acceptance, for unity, building momentum that countered their darkness. They took tentative steps forward, curiosity blossoming beneath the flickers of light and hope. "Show us," the leader echoed again, a whisper that carried over the cascading energy swirling around us. "Show us how we too can reclaim our place amidst the light." And in that moment of transformation, a realization surged through me, a fleeting hope that the birth of something greater had dawned on all our hearts. Together, we stood not as adversaries but as architects of our shared fate. As laughter echoed around us, as warmth surged, as hope intermingled, the defining moment shifted. The beauty of our dreams intertwined like threads of a single fabric, creating a new reality in solidarity and collaboration. Beneath the celestial canvas of the night, illuminated by the orbs, a kaleidoscope of lives surged toward brilliance, beckoning us forward into the light. Together, we became dream weavers, the very essence of our futures igniting beneath the stars, defined by the strength of our unity, because the battle wasn't for dominance. It was for the right to dream freely and forge something extraordinary, forged in the fires of resilience. And thus, our journey continued until we reclaimed every lost hope, until we shattered the shadows defining our lives. The shimmering plains were ours to cultivate, a multicolored domain where the echoes of our stories danced in unity, thriving in a saga yet untold. This was our moment, a pact forged with every heartbeat that reverberated through our shared memory, a step into an infinite horizon of possibility. Together, we would venture on, casting aside what had divided us to illuminate the way toward the road ahead, shimmering with every powerful dream that united us. The winds whispered around us as the stars twinkled with a promise above the shimmering plains. We stood united dreamers and humans, side by side beneath a sprawling celestial tapestry. The palpable energy that surged through our collective heart pulsed with vibrancy, illuminating the path toward uncertain futures intertwined by shared dreams. Keth and I stood at the forefront of our alliance, watching as our exhibition transformed into a burgeoning movement, one ignited by the yearning to reclaim lost connections, once frayed by ambition, but now binding us together with threads of newfound understanding. The decision we had made to embrace empathy over aggression had sent ripples through our ranks, mending wounds of the past and forging bridges where walls once loomed tall. As night continued to envelop the plains, whispers of laughter and celebration echoed like waves of a distant ocean, each crest bolstering hope that surged through our energized beings. But that hope came with the knowledge that though we had turned a corner, the road ahead was still lined with shadows, a reality we would have to face together. Emergency meetings convened around bonfires as warriors and scholars, innovators and storytellers converged to consolidate our strengths. Every voice added depth to our understanding, human and dreamer heartbeats synchronizing in an almost primal rhythm. We transformed our tents into havens of creativity, crafting pavilions dedicated to intertwining our histories, a shared tapestry made rich with the hues of our identities. We must prepare for what lies ahead, I mused, my heart heavy yet tempered with determination. The dissenters may still linger, and we must be ready to guide them or confront their fear. You're right, Keth replied, his gaze scanning the gathering. And it's crucial we focus on building not only our defenses, but creating something tangible that unites our efforts, like a guardian of our unity. Around the circling gorge, Firelight flickered in agreement as all eyes turned to the shimmering fabric of dreams woven into our collective psyche. It was time to take swift action, to show everyone internally and externally that our alliance would weave strength from our diversity, silencing any doubt lingering within and revealing a shared purpose that no one could ignore. The days that followed became a hurried whirlwind of creation. Our collective ingenuity surged, propelling us to craft an elaborate, vibrant structure, a guardian of dreams pulsing with the combined memories harvested from the orbs we had liberated from obscurity. Every orator, creator, and dreamweaver lent their voices to the grand endeavor. Tangible representations of what we stood for took shape in ways that captured the hearts of our united peoples. Arrangements built upon layers of color, each hue resonating with a piece of each identity. The ledger of history could not be forgotten, but it could be transformed into something gloriously powerful. The structure grew, reaching toward the heavens like a beacon of hope, a promise forged by interconnected dreams, a place where all could gather and find strength from each other's stories. Finally, the day arrived for the Guardian's unveiling, and an air of excitement thrummed through our collective souls. Keth stood beside me, eyes ablaze with determination, as the villagers and kin from both human and dreamer factions gathered in numbers that promised solidarity. "This is our chance," he whispered, clutching my hand tightly, "to show them the depth of our shared history." I nodded, turning to face the gathering, thrumming aquatic energy. "Together, we will unveil our hearts. Let our dreams pulse through every fiber of this guardian, awakening what has lain dormant for far too long." As I moved to the center of the throng, the jovial atmosphere charged the air, lending me courage as excitement rippled through their ranks. "People find strength in unity," I called to the ever-growing crowd, my voice resonating like the luminous waves carried on the wind. "Today, we reclaim our memories and transform our shared purpose. We unite under the hopes that bind us." An enormous cheer erupted among the crowd as we unveiled the Guardian of Dreams, its form shimmering with ethereal luminance, weaving in and out of existence like dreams themselves, yet tangible and alive. "Do you see?" I persisted, my heart quickening. "In our variance lies the power to create an unfathomable future. Memories shared ignite the essence of possibility." The Guardian pulsed in response, the light illuminating even the shadows clinging at the edges of our collective experience. Within its chamber, our melding histories shone like constellations, each unique yet connected to the next. The tales told in vibrant display that lingered under a warmth we carried in our hearts. As people stepped forward from both our factions to touch the Guardian, a choir of understanding began to swell. Connections fueled passion that radiated from within as tales of resilience wove through the air, inspiring one another to transcend their pasts. I pushed forward, leading the celebrations, sharing my grandmother's tale of survival during the darkest hour. How the dreamers wove a vast network of invisibility threads to reunite their kin when all hope seemed lost. Keth stepped beside me, his excitement palpable as he recounted his lineage's determination. How unity between the dreamers had fortified their willpower to stand against any adversary. The crowd stirred with familiar fervor. The colors molded into beings' hearts as all were woven together amid the rich tapestry of our shared stories. Yet in the back of my mind, an echo of worry lingered. What would the dissenters think if they hovered nearby, their disdain teetering precariously on the brink of discontent? My thoughts raced as I finished recounting my tale. "Together, we endure and will always forge ahead," I declared, raising my arms high as cheers vibrated through the air. "But we cannot forget there are still souls lost, wandering amid fear and disillusion, each yearning for connection. We must invite them back to this family." Keth stepped forward, his words bolstered by the energy swirling around us. "Let this Guardian signify not just our unity, but a rekindling of a new path. Those who resist should know their place among us. There's light waiting to guide them home." As if in response, cheers erupted from the crowd, a chorus of voices lifted high, as though declaring a pledge of unity and belonging that echoed across the plains. "We light the way, We carry the essence. We reclaim the dream together. The fervor coursed through me, reverberating into the very heart of the Guardian as it pulsed with response to our call. A living entity weaving between dreams and reality. Yet, even amidst the celebration, doubt still lurked in my thoughts. I felt a stirring beyond the horizon. Those restlessly clinging to old ideologies, and even the lingering silhouettes of lingering shadows that hovered close enough to disrupt. As the sun began to descend, painting the sky with hues of amber and pink, a beautiful reminder of what rebirth could yield, I caught sight of movement at the distance, a small band of dissenters emerging from the shadows, their leader at the forefront. My heart froze for an instant, a cold weight settling in my stomach. "They come," I murmured to Keth. A flicker of apprehension sparked in his eyes, yet determination quickly flickered back, recalling the strength of our unity. "Hold fast," he whispered, steeling himself for the emergence. "This is the moment we've prepared for, the moment of truth." The dissenters approached. The crowd fell silent, the warmth of connection freezing momentarily as we braced ourselves at the edge of accepted conflict. I stepped forward, heart pounding painfully in my chest as I raised my hands in a gesture of peace. Despite the uncertainty swirling within me, "Welcome, friends," I called, willing my voice to transcend the unease in the air. "Join us, share in our light, our dreams." The leader stepped forward. A flash of recognition rippled through me. Was it the same figure I had once confronted on that stormy day? His eyes, filled with tumultuous rage, clashed against the wonder surrounding him. "You think a show of colors can blind me?" he snarled, his voice laced with contempt. "You think unity can emerge from farce? Where is the real foundation beneath your guise?" A weight sank in my chest. Disappointment pierced through me, but I steadied my resolve. "It is not simply a spectacle. It is our essence woven by memories cherished. Join us," I implored, casting my gaze over the crowd, a plea for solidarity echoing back toward me. "But we're not here to erase the past. We're here to reclaim a future together. Learn from us. Walk alongside us." The other dissenters appeared torn, glances exchanged as doubt glittered in their eyes as the energy began to shift. But his voice pierced through once more like a dagger. "You would have us surrender power and existence for a mirage. I see only shards of the past rising among the likes of the Guardian." The air crackled with tension as murmurs rose, driven by uncertainty. Eyes turned toward the Guardian, the embodiment of our shared hope and purpose, waiting on the precipice of division. A moment hung heavy, filled with emotions swirling amidst the darkness. I sensed the courage hiding beneath the leader's derision. He was desperate for a connection. "Do you want things to remain as they were?" I added quietly, my tone tempered with sincerity, letting the glimmers of truth pierce through the haze. "Or would you have your children live in a world molded by anger and bitterness?" This Guardian stands as a doorway between the dreams we carry forward and the past we refuse to repeat. Honor it. Let it hold all our stories. The air transformed, heavy with vulnerability. Shadows danced uneasily at the edge of our gathering. What if we could finally reclaim our strength? Iketh suggested, his voice wrapping around hearts like a warm embrace. What if unity becomes our power rather than a chain? For a heartbeat, opponents stood frozen. I could see cracks forming within their resolve. Defiance ever so fragile. "We invite you. Join us." I deferred, open palms extended. The crowd breathless, hope rekindling within the darkness. The leader paused, his fury flickering, doubt creeping into the corners of his eyes. He turned to survey the crowd, hesitance mingling with the shifting whispers of change, realization softening the hardened lines of his face. "You would have me partake?" he asked, voice lowering into something deeper, a thread of curiosity connecting with vulnerability. "You want me to share in what this Guardian offers?" A breath hung heavy in the atmosphere. The pivot from brink to belonging felt palpable, like embers dancing in the space between our hearts. "We are not asking for blind allegiance," Keth said, solidifying our purpose with every note of conviction, emboldened by what we had forged together. We are offering the space to grow. We're not our past. We're our collective dreams woven together. The leader seemed torn yet softened, the shadows creeping back as uncertainty faded into clarity. What if, he began, hesitating as I saw the tender crack forming in his mask. What if we choose to risk the chaos? Then we forge a new future together. Free from the grip of the past, I cried, my heart surging. The Guardian surged with light around us, the luminous energy pulsing harmoniously as the group of dissenters began to step closer. An awakening pulse, weaving their emotions deeper into the cauldron of possibility. I will try, the leader murmured, voice thick with hesitation. The shifting dynamics enveloped the air, and for the first time since our confrontation began, I caught sight of the flicker of something truly significant. A small spark igniting within the shadows. Then take a step, I urged softly, my heart galloping with excitement while also steady with caution. The leader nodded firmly, resolution gleaming in his reassurances at what remained lingering beneath the surface. He extended his hand as the brave action we had hoped for paved the way toward a brighter future. Others watched, a gaze spanning across the multitude, their shackles of fear loosening as connections started weaving in the space between the bodies of our gathering. The atmosphere undulated with hope. The barrier between us began to dissolve as the light wrapped around the dissenters along with their shadows. The Guardian pulsed, crystallizing that moment into reality, a nexus through which the stories surged together, interwoven in sacred purpose. Gradually, one by one, the dissenting followers joined their leader, stepping forward from the edge of uncertainty, their hearts alighting with the desires we so deeply craved, belonging. As the crowd broke into joyous celebration together, I allowed myself to smile. The victory belonging to everyone who had dared to dream beyond the confines of fear. With the Guardian standing as testament to our resolve, we bore witness to the birth of a unified future, where dreams are co-founded, where shadows do not extinguish but instead illuminate paths yet untread. And thus, on that profound night under the starlit skies, we etched the resounding echoes of our choices into the fabric of existence. Together, we had crafted a reality where the tapestries of our lives danced unfettered by the confines of doubt. A world bursting with promise, blooming with every heartbeat that resonated inside us. The shimmering plains became our sanctuary, a luminous home reflecting the beauty of all our memories, memories now etched into destinies we would forge together in unity. The future awaited, an uncharted territory filled with the dreams we dared to dream, and the connections we bore witness to the dawn of an existence we would cultivate together, forever entwined. A remarkable journey lay ahead, where each step we would take painted strokes upon the canvas of our shared history, echoing the beliefs we held dear, that through kinship everything was possible in harmony beneath the never-fading stars.